Ranudi asked a question. Little Nangi wanted to know about this. How can we be born in the higher realm? Put your hand up if you like to be born in a Deva realm. Put your hand up if you like to be born in a lower realm. Nobody. Why? That is also another realm of existence. Okay. So if you like to be born in a Deva realm, this is what you should do. Listen, Ranudiva. The Buddha says you have to have this strong determination made by, you have to make a wish, the strong wish. You have to practice this Panchaseka Bala, and you call them the 5 training powers, and the foundation for liberation and to be born in a higher realm. So it will help you to liberate yourself from samsara. Now you are talking about samsara. So in order for you to liberate from samsara also, you have to practice this 5. And also if you want to be born in a higher realm, in the Deva realm, also you have to practice these 5 skills. And they are called the Panchaseka Bala, or in English you call them 5 training powers. So now listen very carefully. And now people eyes this way. Are you listening or your mind is there? Where is your mind? Okay, good. Focus very nicely. At one time, the Blessed One lived in the monastery offered by Anathapindika. What is the monastery Anathapindika offered? Jetavana. And who was the owner of that earlier? Yeah, before? Prince Jetha. Who was he? He was a prince, and he owned that land. And the Anathapindika was called, his real name was Sudatta. What was his real name? Sudatta. And he was called Anathapindika because the meaning of Anathapindika means, Pindika means Pindu. He used to give alms to people, lot of people. He used to give food to his people. So in this special monastery where Prince Sudatta's, and he was called Anathapindika later. So in that monastery,
he said to Prince Jetha, I will give you the amount of money for how many coins cover the land.
So Prince Jetha requested, he said, I will give it if you cover the land with gold coins. And what did Anathapindika do?
He did that.
He did that. Somehow. He was so lucky because in his previous lives, he has wished to become the Buddha's great benefactor. And who was Buddha's great benefactress? Who was Buddha's great benefactress? Come to that. Visakha. Remember? And what is the monastery she offered? What is the monastery she offered? Visakha Purvarama. That was also beautiful monastery. Right? So, now he is there in the Anathapindika's Jetha's grove in Shravasti. The Blessed One addressed the bhikkhus from there. Bhikkhus, I will tell the arising of intentions. What is it? Arising of intentions. Listen carefully with attention. Those bhikkhus agreed, and Blessed One said, Bhikkhus, the bhikkhu is endowed with. Now, he's telling a bhikkhu, this is not only for bhikkhus, this is for you all as well, for all people. Like people and bhikkhus and bhikkhunis. Right? So listen well, he says. When Buddha says listen well, you have to really listen well so that you have to understand. Now this is Buddha's preaching, right? Even though I am talking, this is what the Buddha said. He said, bhikkhus, the bhikkhu is endowed with faith. Now remember that. Faith, virtues, learning, benevolence, and wisdom. So, what is faith? First one.
You believe in the Buddha's teachings?
Yes, it is the confidence that you gain on the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Right? So, you have to have that great confidence. Remember in the morning also in the Chandala Sutra we said that, didn't we? You have faith. Next one is virtues. And this one also talks about faith and virtues. So, see, they are very important. So, what are virtues? The precepts. either there are 5 precepts, and if you are taking 8 precepts, or if you are taking 10 precepts, and if you are taking Samanera precepts, and so it goes on, right, like that, right? So a bhikkhu is endowed with faith. So bhikkhu virtues are higher. They have 200 odd virtues. So, but for lay people, you have to practice your virtues really well. Okay. And then, so faith, virtues, then learning. What does it mean by learning?
They have the ability to learn the Dhamma.
Yeah, have the ability to learn the Dhamma. Not only learning, but also teaching others. So you have the understanding and also practicing. So you have to listen to Dhamma more often. And when you listen and learn, you should be able to teach that Dhamma as well. And then we can call that person a learned person who can practice that Dhamma as well. Right? So you have to be faith, have confidence, you have virtues, then you have the learning, you have to be a learned person. And next one is benevolence. So the benevolence is generosity, kindness, compassion. That is benevolence. And then wisdom. Right? So what is wisdom? The true understanding of the nature. You understand things as they are. The right view, we call it the right view, the right understanding. So now what are the 5? Now those who want to practice how to go, how to be born in a higher realm, what are the 5 you should know? Because without knowing them, you can't be born. You can't even think of going there. So these 5. First, virtues. You have to remember by heart. Then they are called the 5 training powers. They are powerful trainings. Virtues. No, faith, virtues, generosity. If you can't remember, virtues, learning. A learned person, then generosity and wisdom. So do you think can we practice those? And along with those 5, you should have moral shame and moral fear. Now when you practice these 5, it occurs to the bhikkhu, oh, I should be born with the high warriors at the break of my body. That means after passing away, after death. After death. He bears it in mind, directs thoughts to it, develops that thought. Those intentions that abiding, developed and made much, conduces to be born there. So Buddha says, if you have that wish, if you form that wish, that strong wish, and if you really want to be there, you have to practice these 5 training powers, and at the end of your life, you will be born in such and such a place. Alright? So again, the bhikkhu is endowed with faith, virtues, learning, benevolence and wisdom. Then it occurs to the bhikkhu, I should be born with the high Brahmins, a high middle class at the break of the body. After death, he bears it in mind, directs thought to it, develops that thought and those intentions that abide, developed and made much, conduces to be born there. And this is the path and method to be born there. So if you wish to be born as a Brahmin, you can be born there. But you have to follow the virtues. Not that way and not that way. That is not the way to follow the virtues. Again, because the bhikkhu is endowed with, say with me, what are the 5? Faith, virtues, learning, benevolence and wisdom. It occurs to the bhikkhu, oh, I should be born with the 4 guardian gods with long life. Now there are 4 guardian gods. They guard us, all of us. And they are called the 4 guardian gods. And with long life, now they have long life, beauty and much pleasantness. Now, okay, you could have gone earlier, now be quick, right, Buddha? Much pleasantness. At the break of the body, after death, he bears it in the mind, directs his thoughts to it, develops that thought and those intentions that abiding, developed and made much, conduces to be born with the guardian gods with long life, beauty and pleasantness. So what do you get? Say it together. long life, beauty, and pleasantness. And Buddha says, this is the path and method to be born there. Malli, listen, na? We are talking about gods. I'm sure you are going to like it. Now you turn around and face me this way, like this ayah. Beautiful. Don't look at others, right? Good boy. Now you're really mindful. Very nice. See, he's learning. And you also face this way. Again, bhikkhus. A bhikkhu is endowed with, let's say together, faith, virtues, learning, benevolence, and wisdom. It occurs to the bhikkhu, oh, I should be born with the company of gods of the 33. There are 33 realms. 33, we know very little, no? But there are 33 realms. Those who are doing Abhidhamma, and if you are in the junior 1 class, I think, you learn about the 33 realms. So as you go to higher classes, you will be learning about these Deva realms. That's very interesting and you like it. Okay, when you're learning Abhidhamma. And there now it occurs to the bhikkhu, I should be born with the company of gods in the 33 realms. With Yama gods, see whether you have heard these names, huh? With the happy gods, with the gods attached to creating. You know, certain gods can create things. They can create things. If you like, if you have a wish, then those gods can create things and give you. Right? There are gods who can do that. And then, with gods attached to creating others, they can even create others. Listening well. With long life, beauty, and much pleasantness. They all have beauty, don't they? So they have practiced their virtues really well to be born like that. Huh? And break up of the body after death, he bears it in mind, directs thoughts and develops that thought of those intentions that abiding, developed and made much, conduces to be born with the gods, attached to creating others, with long life, beauty, and much pleasantness. This is the path and method to be born there. Now the next one. Again, bhikkhus. The bhikkhu is endowed with, say together, faith, virtue. You are not concentrating and you are not reading with me, right? What's your intention? Where do you want to be born? No happy realms. Then you better practice, okay? You put that aside and repeat with it. Okay. So, say, endowed with what? Faith, virtues, learning, benevolence, and wisdom. Malli kiyanna bala. What are they? What are the 5 training powers? Faith, virtues, learning, benevolence, and wisdom. Can you say? If you are, faith, virtues, learning, benevolence, wisdom. Only 5. Only 5. But that you have to practice really well. Right? So what happens? So if you practice this, a bhikkhu learns Sahasa Brahma wills, power over the 1,000 world systems, with long life, beauty, and much pleasantness. He wills power over those born there, like a wise man, drawing a circle on his palm, would reflect in the same manner. Sahasa Brahma wields power over the 1,000 world systems and wields power over those born there. It occurs to him, I should be born with Sahasa Brahma at the break of the body after death. He bears in mind, directs thoughts to it, develops that thought, and those intentions that abiding, developed and made much, conduces to be born with Sahasa Brahma, who wields power over the 1,000 world system, with long life, beauty, and much pleasantness. This is the path, and this is the method to be born there. So have you picked up where you want to be? Not yet, no? So we'll read further and see what else where you can think about. Again, because the bhikkhu is endowed with, say together, faith, virtues, learning, benevolence, and wisdom. the bhikkhu learns Devi Sahasra Dvi Sahasra Brahma Loka, 3 Sahasra Brahma Loka, Chatu Sahasra Brahma. They are higher and higher. Pancha Sahasra Brahma Loka wields power the 5,000 world systems with long life, beauty, and much pleasantness. He wields power over those born there, like a wise man drawing 5 circles on his palm would reflect. In the same manner, Pancha Sahasra Brahma wields power over the 1,000 pearl world systems. We don't know much about the Brahma realms, but they say they are very happier realms and they don't have suffering like us, pain, suffering, and there is no female male thing. They are all the same. There is no distinguish between male and female. So, but they enjoy life. It's a very pleasantful living. Yeah.
In the Deva realms, is there also suffering?
No, not much.
Not much?
No, not much. Not as if we suffer. They don't have to go and study, learn. They don't have to do jobs. They just live on the power that the merits that they have gained, and they are just being happy because of their merits that they have done. All right? Okay. So that's not a bad idea, huh? Okay. Now he bears in mind, directs thoughts to it, and develops that thought. So he thinks, oh, this is what you should do. So then the Buddha says, again, bhikkhus, the bhikkhu is endowed with, say together, faith, virtues, learning, benevolence, and wisdom. The bhikkhu learns Dasa Sahasra. Now it's even more expanding. Wields power over the 10,000 whole world system. We can't see them, but there are so many thousands of world systems on this earth. Yes. Then there are other worlds as well. So with long life, that's why Buddha didn't want to talk too much about it, because it's too much for our mind. We can't even think and imagine that. Right? So with long life, beauty, and much pleasantness, he wields power over those born like when well should be born with Dasa Sahasra Brahma at the break of the body after death, and he directs thought to it and develops that thought. Right? Now again, good boy. Again, bhikkhus, the bhikkhu is endowed with, say together, faith, virtues, learning, benevolence, and wisdom. The bhikkhu learns Sata Sahasra Brahma wields power over the 100,000 well system. Now there is beauty, they are talking about pleasantness. He wields power over those born. They are like a clever goldsmith. You know who a goldsmith is? Okay. Who would purify born gold, putting it in the furnace, and it would radiate light and heat placed on the orange blanket. In the same manner, Satasahasra Brahma wields power over the 10,000 world system and wields power over those born there. Then he thinks, oh, after the breaking of my body, after my death, I wish to be born in such and such a place. Because if you have fulfilled your virtues and fulfilled the 5 training powers, you can have that wish. Anyone can have that wish. Okay? And can be born there. So now next one again, Buddha says, oh, bhikkhus, the bhikkhu is endowed with, say together, faith, virtues, learning, benevolence, and wisdom. The bhikkhu learns that gods with radiance. Now that's an interesting one. Now there are gods with radiance. What does that mean by radiance?
It means light comes from their
Body, glory, the beauty, because of their virtues. So the people who have these virtues and who have metta, you know what metta is, loving kindness, there is an aura around them. There is some kind of beauty, a sereneness and brightness. And in the gods, they are more powerful. So they have the radiance. It's like a beaming light, like a glowing light. They are beaming, right? That's how you measure whether they are powerful or not. And some, their beams very light, some are bright as ever, and they extend very far. Okay, so it says the gods with radiance, with limited radiance, that's not much. Limitless radiance, there is limitless radiance, have long life, beauty and much pleasantness. It occurs to him, oh, I should be born with gods of limitless radiance, with long life, beauty and much pleasantness. This is the path and method to be born there. Now, if you get a chance, would you like to be born with a limited radiance or limitless radiance? What's your choice? Limitless. You would like to have a limitless, because in the higher realms also they have this sort of a status. Those who have performed higher merits, they sit in the front. When the Buddha comes to visit, they have to sit in an order. Like you see, like the monks sit according to their order, the type of the day that they have attained monkhood, that's how they sit, according to the seniority. In the Deva realm also they have something like that, and that depends on how much powerful you are. So those who are not really powerful, you have to go to the back when the powerful gods come to the front. That is also there. So there's limitless happiness and limited happiness. So limitless happiness is good, isn't it? And then beauty and much pleasantness it occurs to him, I should be born with gods of limitless happiness, with long life, beauty and much pleasantness. This is the path and method to be born. Now this such and such a person who knows, who understands these 5 training powers, who is practicing these 5 training powers, what is happening to that person's virtues?
They get more and more virtues.
More and more, increasingly more and more, isn't it? Because you don't stagnate in one place, so you try to go higher, so more and more. And then again the bhikkhu is endowed with, say together, faith, virtues, learning, benevolence and wisdom. The bhikkhu learns that gods with power to go through the air. Now we are talking about the gods that have power to go through the air. And the gods who are not cruel, then who are zealous gods, and gods that are easily seen. There are gods whom can be seen easily, and gods of highest order, having long life. So now also there is life also depends. So there are ones with long life, beauty and much pleasantness, and it occurs to him, oh, I should be born with gods of the highest order, with long life, beauty and much pleasantness. This is the path and method to be born there. Now again, bhikkhu, the bhikkhu is endowed with, let's say together, faith, virtues, learning, benevolence and wisdom. The bhikkhu learns that gods born in space have a long lifespan. So there are
Because Prince Siddhartha's mother, Mahamaya, and she was reborn in
Tautisa heaven.
She's up to this day, she's only lived 2 days.
2 days, according to the human days, yeah. So they have long life, so they can enjoy life. Not like us. Even our life is very short, and still we cannot enjoy because you are having old age, sickness and death. Right? So human world is suffering, right? Okay. Animal is worse. And the ghost and preta is even worse. Now you understand a lot, no? Okay. So, again, bhikkhu is endowed with, let's say together, faith, virtues, learning, benevolence and wisdom. The bhikkhu learns that gods born in the sphere of consciousness, in the sphere of nothingness. Now these are all spheres, right? Spheres of existence. In the sphere of neither perception nor non-perception, have a long lifespan and enjoy much pleasantness. It occurs to him, oh, I should be born with gods of the sphere of neither perception nor non-perception, with long life, much pleasantness. And this is the path and method to be born there. Because we have the material spheres where it's visible. There are non-material spheres where you can't see the body and it's only the mind. The body is in a very subtle way, you can't see it. See, there are realms as well, non-material spheres. Now again, for the saying, again the bhikkhu is endowed with, let's say, faith, virtues, learning, benevolence and wisdom. It occurs to the bhikkhu, now listen to this very well, oh, I should destroy desires. Now this person thinks. Now see, because of the higher virtues, because of the faith, the confidence that you have in the Buddha, right? Now he is well learned, practice and listen to Dhamma. And by doing all that and with practicing generosity, kindness, all that, what does he now think at the end? I want to destroy desires. Because even going to be born in heaven is a desire, isn't it? Because heaven is good, Benevolence are good. But once your merits are finished, what happens to you? You will come down again.
You go back to square one.
Yeah, you go back to square one.
You have to do more merits to go higher.
Yeah, if you have more merits to go higher, you can. Otherwise, you will come down again. You can even be born as a ghost, hungry ghost.
But if you want to eliminate all desires, isn't that a desire itself?
Yeah, that is a desire because you begin with a desire. You have to begin with a desire, some kind of desire. So when you attend to it, you attend to the meritorious deeds, and these 5 training powers, where would these 5 training powers take you, lead you to?
Yoga.
To end desire. Because as you practice higher and high, you practice well, so you think of, that is also suffering because you be born as a god, but there is no end to it because after you finish, you can go anywhere. So he thinks, I want to get rid of these desires. And how can you get desires? You become a Sudhamma, the first stream enterer. So when you become a stream enterer, you will be born only in 7 realms, 7 times.
They have to be either human
Or
or
deva. So you will not go beyond that. Right? Do you understand that? Now the boys at the back turn this way and learn to sit down. Putta, it's a good training. You know, you cross your legs and you sit down nicely. It's a good training for you. When you're older and when you practice meditation for longer periods, this is going to help you, this training. If you're a person who's clumsy and can't sit in one place and moving your legs, feet all around, that means you have no mindfulness. If your mindfulness is strong and if you're listening and alert, you shouldn't move your body like that. You're sleepy, I can see, no? Come on, turn this side like a good boy, facing this way and keep listening, right? So even at school, you must be alert. Lending your eyes to the teacher to be listening what she's saying, otherwise you're going to miss out on your very important things, isn't it? See, now you could have missed out on destroying desires. If you miss out on destroying desires, you don't know how to get rid of your desires. So you will be thinking about, but it's good. It's good to be thinking about it. It's good to be looking at something good, right? So having a desire is all right at the beginning, and then you will learn to end the desire. So without desires, the mind is released, and the release through wisdom. How can you release it? Eyes this way. Releasing through wisdom. Here and now, by myself realizing I should abide. He destroying desires. Without desires, the mind released, and released through wisdom here and now by himself realizing abides, because this bhikkhu is not born anywhere for any reason. So what has happened now? He got rid of desires by releasing the mind. He let go of all desires. And what has happened to this bhikkhu? So if he's not going to be born again,
He's ended suffering.
ended suffering. And who is he called? An arahat. So you start with a desire at the beginning, but in the end you realize yourself that even be born in a higher realm is suffering. So because you have to face it, because the wheel of existence is like that, we be born and die, born and die, born and die, keeps going on, and we have been going in this wheel of existence. How long? This Malli said that what was my first birth? I said, I don't know, because you must have had many. Tell that. That's very difficult. First birth, okay? So, it keeps until you attain Sotapanna, you will have only 7 lives.
So all of us could have been born as dinosaurs.
Probably. Very probably. And we all must have seen the Gautama Buddha. And we were ignorant. No?
That's just
We were ignorant, and during that time we would have been animals. We never know.
And even before dinosaurs.
Yes.
And
We would
the
have
earth might
existed.
be in a different color.
Yes.
And before dinosaurs there was seaweed. Seafood.
Or even the Buddha's time, the Gautama Buddha's time, we would have been some birds and listening to little bit of Dhamma from up on a tree. That's why we can hear Dhamma now, at least a little bit. We never know. Because if we did the right thing, we wouldn't be born again, didn't we? No. No, we've been born again and again and again, so we have not done our stuff properly. Isn't it? Huh?
I know the Buddha could remember his past births after he became
A Buddha,
fully
yeah.
enlightened. But if one of us becomes fully enlightened, would we be able to
Yeah, you can recall your past
see into the
births.
past?
So once you go into the 4 jhanas, the 4 absorptions, and then you gain this abhinya, you can read your past lives. You can see your past life. Yeah, and you can do many more things, miracles as well. But that is not the thing. Buddha didn't encourage on that part. He said you can attend to those, but don't use them as, some people use it as a livelihood, So that he said not to do that. Because that will slow down your attainments. Going into other things, pleasures and desires can slow down your attainments. Right. So now the Blessed One said thus, those bhikkhus delighted in the words of the Blessed One. So the last one is he destroyed all desires, and without desires, mind released, and released through wisdom here, and now by himself realizing abides. So this bhikkhu is not born anywhere for any reason. So if we wish and if we train the 5 training powers, say it's one of you who practice the 5 training powers, where would you be? What do you think you can? Where would you
Straight
be?
to Nibbana.
Straight to Nibbana. Good. So you think the desires also? Yeah. So I will get rid of my desires.
Even
because
if you go to the Devaloka and spend 200 million years there, you just go back to square one.
Yeah. But the thing is, Deva realms are still good. Planning to go there. You know why? Because you won't be born in the lower realm. No? So having that attitude is good. It's not a bad one. But when after you have that attitude and you practice on the 5 training powers, then you know that this desire is also not good. So you want to finish up. Right? Now do you understand that sutra? It's a nice sutra, isn't it? Very lively and very nice. So there are Dvisahasra, Trisahasra, so many God realms which we don't know. You will learn them when you are learning Abhidhamma, right? So when you come to the junior part 1 class,
You don't learn all 33.
you learned 6 realms,
Yeah.
and the Brahma realms also, some of them you learn.
Yeah.
And so altogether there are 33 realms.
And
There
4.
were realms, right? Okay, so now you can ask some questions. What's the time now? We have half an hour.
What 30?
You want to meet the Bhante? No? Just listening, okay. We were talking, discussing about a sutra. It's called Sankara Uppaththi Sutta, because one of these little ones asks, what is the criteria to be born in a higher realm, in a Deva realm? So Buddha has explained in the Sankara Uppaththi Sutta how you can train the 5 training powers. The 5 training powers, let us say all together so that the brothers there can listen. So what are the 5 training powers? Faith, virtues, learning, benevolence, wisdom. Very good. They are the 5 training powers. So when you practice these 5 training powers, and if you make a wish, you can be born in a higher realm. But in the end, when you practice these 5 training power to a great extent, what happens is you want to get rid of the desires, because you think that is also a desire. And by doing that, you want to you eradicate all your defilements. So that is how, and you become an arahat in the end, the person who really practices it, and you tend to destroy all desires. Right, now do we have any questions? It's time for questions and answers. Now in the morning we were talking about moral shame and moral fear. Remember? Moral shame. Why is moral shame and moral fear important for us? Maybe from a younger person, only one hand is always up. What about you? What about you? Why is moral shame and moral fear so important? Did you get enough sleep last night? Why? You stayed late? Huh? That's not good. You have to ask tell Puta, right? Ask your mom and dad to put you to sleep early before you have the sleep day. Yes, darling. Right? Oh, see what that little Nangi, how old are you? She's only 5 years old, and she says they are the guardians. Moral shame and moral fear are the guardians of the world. Why do we use them as say that they are the guardians of the world? Huh? They guard you. All right, it's a good one. Okay, and
if you get they pretty much the same thing that she said.
Pretty much the same thing she said, yeah. Okay?
It stops us from doing bad deeds.
Bad deeds. Stops you from doing bad deeds. So that's good because you know your limitations, no? You know where you should stop. Right. So, moral shame and moral fear. Now, does moral shame and moral fear are within your 5 precepts? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
So how do you guard them? How do you guard them? Yeah, you know. Huh? How do you know? How do you guard them? By what? Doing what? What good things, Buddha? What good things did Buddha ask you to do? Practice. Observing the precepts. Very good. So if you break the precepts, and then you will get into this moral, not having moral shame, and not immoral shame and immoral fear. Understand that? So those 2 are virtues, right? So you have no fear to do shameful acts, and you have no fear to do what? Bad, whatever the bad.
Break the precepts.
Yeah. Right? So you are not afraid to break them. Right. So now that is the good one. And then we spoke about the 5 good qualities of a lay person, like you, upasakas and upasikas. The 5 good qualities, the lotus-like lay person, a gem of a lay follower. What does a lay follower should have? Only one hand? My mouth is hurting now. I've been talking so much. Say something now. Let her say. Yes, tell. You are not even prepared to think about it. Who else knows? Only one hand up. Huh? I was talking so much and so many days. And what about you? What are the qualities of a lay follower? What the Buddha expected you to do. Now first 2 are the same. What are the first 2? First 2 with the others. Sankara Uppaththi Sutta. What are the first 2? What's the first one?
Faith.
Everyone should have the faith in the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. Then you must have virtues. What are the virtues that a lay follower should follow? The 5 precepts. And 8 precepts on 8 precepts days. Lay followers can take 10 precepts and so forth. Right? Now the next one. What is the third one?
Not to be superstitions.
Not to be superstitious. Very good. Not to be superstitious and go after omens. Right? And then not to go after ceremonies and things like that. Then what is the 4th one? Believes in the what? Karma. Good. That good lay follower believes in the karma. And what is the 5th one?
If they want to give alms, they always go to the Sangha.
Sangha first. First to the Sangha. Always do the offerings to the Sangha first. Right? Okay, so now that is the lotus-like lay follower. Why is the lay follower, why is the flower lotus has a higher value in Buddhism? Always one hand. Yeah? Tata, it's okay.
Because it grows in dirty
Mud.
water, and when it goes out, it's beautiful and doesn't have.
Okay. And you can tell, what do you know about it? Why is the flower lotus has a higher value in Buddhism?
It looks really nice.
Yeah. So just because a person looks really nice, you think you are like a lotus? Is that what the Buddha says? That tell me. Huh? Okay.
When the lotus is coming out, it starts from a very small and low thing, then it comes out and sprouts beautifully after it was being very yucky.
Yeah, in the mud, with dirt. So dirt, you can compare with all kinds of people. Evil, using harsh words, telling lies, fighting, killing, all that bad qualities are there. But what happens with the lotus? It blooms out, isn't it? To be a very pretty flower. Not only that, it's got good fragrance, no? Fragrance. And what else? And it doesn't stick anything. So even if it rains, the water, it doesn't hold water. It doesn't attach to things. It's detached. And it doesn't keep dirt on it. But it's so pure and beautiful. So a lay follower must be like that. Very clean. Don't get mixed with bad people who tells lies, using harsh words, angry words, carrying tales. So you have to avoid all those bad qualities and be like a lotus flower. So what are the good qualities that you should develop in your life? You know, the 4 great qualities, we spoke about it. What are they? What do we call them? What about you? You have never answered to any of my questions. Tell me, Putta. Good qualities. I know you can answer really well if you want to. Okay? Good qualities. 4 good friends in our mind. What are they? Other sides this way. What are the 4 good qualities, Kian? Starting with loving kindness. The Brahman Viharas. Loving kindness. Yes? Compassion. See, the 5-year-old is answering. And loving kindness, compassion, equanimity. See? Look at her. Equanimity, very good. And
Metta.
yeah, metta is loving kindness. Karuna is compassion. Nandi said that. Yeah. Huh? Generosity is not in the Brahma Viharas. It is there, but yeah. Joy fathers, right? That's we call this altruistic joy. Joy fathers, right? Altruistic joy. So now we have to, and what's the 4th one? Equanimity. See? Very good, no?
5-year-old.
The little one? Very good. See? And where is the other Ayya? Malli? Ayya? Okay, now when you go home, you have to practice. Remember those 4 and you have to teach the others also. Huh?
We have to help clean it up.
We ended up that story. Not that story, actually, it's the sutra. I will just briefly tell you. So we went on talking about all these gods and higher realms, these beautiful deva realms, and in the end, what happened? So then the Buddha says, the last one I'm saying, again the bhikkhu is endowed with faith. Say together, faith, virtues, learning, benevolence and wisdom. The bhikkhu learns that God's born in the sphere of consciousness, in the sphere of nothingness, in the sphere of neither perception nor non-perception. Now these are all immaterial spheres, right? Where you can't see the physical body. You have only the mind. Okay? So neither then have long lifespan and enjoy much pleasantness. Leave your hands aside. It occurs to him, oh, I should be born with gods of the sphere of neither perception nor non-perception, but long life, much pleasantness. And this is the path and method to be born there. The last one, says the Buddha. Again the bhikkhu is endowed with, say together, faith, virtues, learning, benevolence and wisdom. It occurs to the bhikkhu, oh, I should destroy desires. Now all this time you had desires to be born where? In the higher realm. But as you go with the training, 5 training powers, as you go with the 5 training powers, now you are letting go of your desires because your virtues are high, right? So your practices are very high and they are really good. Now your learning is also very good. So now that person thinks, I should destroy desires. Without desires, the mind released, and released through wisdom. Here and now, by myself realizing, I should abide. He destroying desires. Without desires, the mind is released, and released through wisdom. Here and now, by himself realizing, abides. Bhikkhu, this bhikkhu is not born anywhere for any reason. So now what happens? First he had desires to be born in this realm, in the Tautisa realm, in the all these higher realms, in the Brahma realms, but he still had desires. But when all the desires were gone, what happened? This bhikkhu attained arahatship. So he got rid of all desires and he became an arahant. Because even the Deva realm, after you finish all the merits that you have performed in your life, what happens to you? There is no guarantee. You can even go and be born in a lower realm. In a lower realm. So that is it's not safe. So a person who really practices and fulfills all this, that person can be born in a very higher realm, and that person can eradicate all defilements and attend the stream entry. The first stream enterer, and the second one is Sovan. The second one is Sakadagami. Third one, that is once returner, never returner, and Arahat. So you become an Arahat in the end. So that is our goal, isn't it? Our ultimate goal is to end all suffering. So one day we all become Arahats. That is how we end this cycle of birth. Otherwise, until then, this is going on and on and on. Now you people don't feel it now because you all are young, You don't feel the suffering. But as you get older, this old age is very painful. Becoming sick is very painful. And then it's very difficult because all your children have gone far, no one to look after you. You will end up in a nursing home, and then at the nursing home what happens? No one to care much for you, and then when you'll be all alone, and you will end up what? Dying. So ending is also not that interesting, no? There will be sicknesses, cancer, what are the diseases that can occur? Cancer, what else? You have arthritis, what else? All difficult ones. AIDS. Very few people get AIDS, yeah. If you end up with AIDS, you're finished. And all kinds of diseases. And tuberculosis, you never know what these things are.
You can die from allergies.
Yes, allergies, asthma, when you're much older, and these digest problems, no? Dysentery, heart attack, very good, yes, heart attacks, and you become diabetic, and then you have cholesterol, sugar, that is diabetes. So you have all kinds of diseases, and then diseases with phlegm, then asthma, all that can come.
Strokes.
Strokes, when you are young, you don't feel it. So, human life is not that good. But that's just because of that doesn't mean that you have to be thinking of suffering all the time. Right? You can lead a good life. You can lead a happier life when you understand the reality of nature. So you understand the reality of nature, and when you see certain things, sensual pleasures, do you get carried away by those unnecessarily? No, you have to look at it and think, oh, that is nice, that is good, but do I really need it? Do I have to go after it and cry for it? No, not necessary. So you must learn your limits. You should know your limits. And then you must not bother your parents too much. They give whatever they can give for you, because if they can give, they give you. You know that, no? Whatever that they can give, they don't hide their money and not give you. So whatever they can, they give you, right? So be happy with whatever you got. That means content. So what's that word? Content with what you got, what you are given, and be happy with that. So this happiness is something that instantly you can change. How can you change? How can be happy instantly? Change your mind. If you are sad, make it a pleasurable one. Change your mind and think of something good. Do something good. Think of compassion, loving kindness, giving. Makes you very happy. I told you about that research that the psychologists found. Compassion and giving gives you happiness and long life. So if you are a person who is prepared to give, not everything that you have, because if you start giving everything you have, you will end up with nothing. But how much you can give? There are things you can give: food, you can give your time, you can give your what you know, like what I am doing. That is also giving, no? Teaching the Dhamma, doing some CDs, burning some CDs and giving them to people. These are nice things. You can lend your stuff, share your things, help your friends. They are all giving. Somebody is talking. I can hear you. Me. Miley was very good now today. Wasn't he good?
Yeah.
He's good lay disciple. A lotus like a lay follower, no? Huh? A gem of a lay follower. We'll see, yeah? The next time I'll ask Kaki, how you been? Good boy, yeah? Anyone else can see Nangi improving? And she remembered most of the stuff we said. And Tanuri is very good. Ranudi. I think I'm going to write your name down. Ranudi.
My sister.
Ranudi started coming to 8 precepts days from the very beginning, weren't you? She's been observing. And I think I can remember some of them. These people, they were coming. And Hansini.
So wise.
The wise one. Then you should be really wise, because you have to act according to your name. And you should be alert and sitting well, listening, concentrating, okay? And not sleepy. Because otherwise then the name doesn't suit you. You have to act wisely. Okay? Act wisely. Ranudi, what's the meaning of that?
My name means.
That must be a good one too. All names have good meanings.
My name is very intelligent.
Oh. It's intelligence,
I
okay.
remember my name was something about the sun rising.
Ah, yeah, Ranundi. Sun rising. Brightness, yeah?
I just have a question for Daman Pasada. When's the prize giving for this year?
I think it's in March. And be like this. Keep your hands in your lap. Sit up nice and straight.
Lap or chest?
In your lap. When you confer merits, you keep your hands in your lap, right? So, through the acts of the merits that we generated today, by listening to Dhamma, observing the 8 precepts, offering the Buddha pujas, and meditate through meditation, and through the power of the discourses that was preached by the Buddha, by the power of the 84,000 Dhamma that Buddha has discoursed, and through the power of all the graceful merits that we do in this monastery, may all the guardian devas receive these merits, be well, happy and peaceful. May all your past relatives be well, receive these merits and be well, happy and peaceful. And may they all attain Nibbana. So sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now you repeat what I am saying, right? Dukkhapatta cha niddukha. Say that, keep your eyes open. Dukkhapatta cha niddukha. Bhayapatta cha nibbaya. Say Bhayapatta cha nibbaya. Sokapatta cha nissoka. Sokapatta cha nissoka. Hontu sabbe pipanino. Hontu sabbe pipanino. Idam me punyang. Sabbe satta. Anumodantu. Sabba sampatti. Siddhya. So now repeat after me. May suffering ones be suffering free, and the fear struck fearless be.
fearless feet.
May the grieving
May the grieving
shed all grief,
shed all grief,
and may all beings
may all beings
find relief.
find relief.
Eyes closed. For the acquisition of all kinds of happiness,
For the acquisition of all kinds of happiness,
may beings
may beings
inhabiting space and earth,
inhabiting space and earth,
devas and nagas
devas and nagas,
of mighty power,
of mighty power,
share this merit of ours.
share this merit of ours.
May they long protect
May they long protect
the Lord Buddha's dispensation.
the Lord Buddha's dispensation.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Let's say Akasatta Shabhummata Devanaga Mahiddhika Punyantan Anumoditva Chiran Rakkantu Sasanam. Akasatta Shabhummata Devanaga Mahiddhika Punyantan Anumoditva Chiran Rakkantu Desanam. Akasatta Shabhummata Devanaga Mahiddhika Punyantam Anumoditva Chiran Rakkantu no sada. Idamme Nyatinam hotu Sukhita hontu Nyatayo. Idamme Nyatinam hotu Sukhita hontu Nyatayo. Idamme Nyatinam hotu Sukhita hontu Nyatayo. So through the merits that we observed today, generated today, through all these wholesome actions, through the mindfulness and meditation, through listening to Dhamma, and attending to Dana, and through all the meritorious actions we perform today, may we be well, happy and peaceful. May our parents, relatives, sisters and brothers, teachers, may all beings be well, happy and peaceful. And may we be able to understand the Four Noble Truths and be able to attain Nibbana, and also be able to attend to our studies well, perform well in all what we do, and improve our mindfulness, and attend to our teaching, improve our listening skills, and be good, cultured Buddhist children who can carry forward this Dhamma and who can help others and who can develop this compassion, kindness and happiness to yourself and to all others. So may you all be well, happy and peaceful. And I believe that most of you did very well today, and you learned a lot of Dhamma, isn't it? We spoke about many Dhamma topics. Now we have to remember all these great Dhamma topics that you learned today. Go and write them down in your blackboard or whatever the board you have, so that you won't forget them, the moral shame and moral fear, and also the 5 training powers, and also the good qualities of a lay follower, and all these good things that we learned today. And so be very happy about your day, right? Be very happy about your virtues and the things that you did perform today, and think that you have earned a lot of good deeds in your life. Okay? For this half a day, you have earned a lot of merits that will take you to a good place to be well and happy in this life and in your next lives. So be very happy yourself that you attended to this, and be very happy that you listened to Dhamma and about your knowledge. Because the 5 training powers has learning, no? So you earned that today. And you earned the faith in the Buddha. And you earned the virtues. You practice the virtues. What's the other one? Benevolence. Benevolence or generosity is the giving, right? So now you practice more. So you teach others about what you learned, the good things, and practice them. And also then the wisdom, the right understanding. Alright? So I wish you all well and happiness, and be good students at your school and at the Dhamma school as well. So those who attend the SIL programs, when you see other people not doing the right thing, you can correct them. Not in a boisterous way, but in a nice way. Do you think you can do that? That kind of thing is not good. To talk like that is bad, and you can teach them, right? Those who attend the SIL programs, you can do it because now you know what is right and what is wrong. And when people are breaking the precepts, it's only among the Sri Lankans, okay? Only among the Buddhists, because if you go to school and do that, some people may not like it. But without telling Buddhist, you can help certain people, with good qualities, with generosity, loving kindness, sharing things, using good words, nice words, kind words, in your life, to your parents mostly, and when you're at home. How many of you help your parents? Put your hand up. You do. You really help your parents in sweeping, doing little things, little jobs at home? Very good. Put your hands down. I'm very happy to know that. How many of you meditate at home? Take time to meditate. Genuinely do it, okay? Right. If you are a person who hasn't done, you better start now. Few minutes in bed, metta meditation, before going to sleep. When you wake up in bed, quickly metta meditation before you wake up. And that will give you good results. So those who are attending the precepts, at least you all follow that, okay? Because you are very fruitful. And the day is purposeful. What is the word I said in the morning? Profitable. So you have made a lot of profit. So you have some accounts in your bank. What is the profit you gain? You earned merits. So that's very profitable for you. So you had a really profitable day. And I'm very happy too. I'm tired, but I'm very happy. So come for all the SIL programs as possible, right? And spend half a day. That is going to help you in this life and the next life and thereafter. Okay? That will avoid you from going to a bad realm. Like, the Sankara Uppaththi Sutta. Remember the sutra we discussed? Wishing, by the wish and the 5 training powers, you can be wished to be born in a higher realm. So, okay, may you all be well happy. Give a salute to the Buddha.